Hey kids, this is Princess Tweedlot and
The Taste
from Kids in the Corner 207. We are very happy because you guys stuck with us and liked all our videos and subscribed, and this is our 200th video.
We hope you enjoy this book. So here we go.
Pleasant Fieldmouse's Halloween Party by Jan Wahl. Pictures by Wallace, Tripp. Pleasant Fieldmouse's Halloween Party. The ground lies frosty at night. Big forest pumpkins, squashes, ratabagas grow ripe, turning yellow and orange. It's the time of year when things go brown. Tree branches seem like skeletons' fingers. Bands of black crows flit through chilly gray skies. Get ready, quick, they cry. Snails and beetles listen. Robins, orioles, and ducks wing south. Ants go marching with fat grubs. Mrs. Hedgehog puts up cowberry and parsnip jelly. The wind blows.
The squirrel twins dash about storing nuts, while Grandfather Frog sleepily digs a nice muddy bed.
One small figure, however, was awake, planning, stepping out of his oak tree house and looking around. Pleasant Fieldmouse. Excitedly he said, "I will give a Halloween party. People like to dress up and have fun."
So he sent out invitations carefully written on dry oak leaves. "Come scary as possible," he wrote.
He delivered them himself before sunup, laying a pine cone on each leaf so it wouldn't blow away, then rushed home to get things ready.
Halloween Eve was pitch black with a huge white apple moon. A number of ghosts appeared in all sizes, nervously popping out of holes and bushes, dressed up in white long sheets.
Squirrel ghosts, mouse ghosts, chipmunk ghosts. Some end-of-year honeybees flew timidly as tiny bee ghosts.
Whirling Mole, already half asleep for winter, spun out of his hole, making crisp leaves fly. "What's happening?" he grumbled. "It's the event of the year," yelled Soft Chipmunk, who, with Squeaker Bat, grabbed Whirly by the paw and put him in a crazy costume of weeds and feathers. They dragged him off toward Pleasance.
"I'm having a nightmare," shouted the mole. Widow Possum came as a banshee, though she wasn't exactly sure what banshee was. The banshee possum bumped into a strange, awful figure,
which was Mrs. Hedgehog, the warrior dressed in pea pods with stalks and burrs sticking out. Both ladies yowled with fright and ran for their lives. "Hoo hoo!"
Each ghost, shaking a candle, began scaring the ghost figure ahead or behind.
A terrible panic started and everyone scrambled home, bolting the door, hiding beneath twigs. Not one arrived at Pleasant's house where firefly lanterns hung. Pleasant was waiting eagerly for the guests. It was spooky, with nobody in the forest at all.
Maybe my idea was too scary, he thought to himself. So he stepped outside, racing along the trail, shouting, "Come as yourselves, just come as who you are, but please come." He shouted it everywhere, urgently.
One by one, figures stepped into white moonlight, shadows of animals, of insects, of birds who did not gone south. They came down the trail again. The night was young. Hooray! Now there were two who didn't care about parties at all, just wanted to see what was happening.
Maybe to locate a tasty meal, These two were Tired Fox and Terrible Owl. The fox hid behind the oak while the owl sat in high branches, watching.
Guests below bobbed for apples. Mrs. Hedgehog, giggling, tumbled into a pan of water and crab apples. Crab apples stuck to her pines. She won the prize.
Next, the treasure hunt was announced. In 1 hour, you have to bring 1 corn cob, 3 porcupine quills, 1 onion, 2 spider webs, 7 cock burrs. The prize, Aunt Skunk's fly pie. Off raced the guests, hunting in all directions. Most returned with only 1 item. No guest brought everything.
Pleasant smiled, expecting this. He cut the pie so each one got a slice. Suddenly, Terrible Owl sailed into their midst, screaming, "I win!"
But in this haste, he missed the pie and landed right on the treasures. He rolled upon corn cobs, was jabbed with quills,
wept with onion tears, grew tangled in webs, sat on cockleburrs. He hastily left the party, empty-clawed. Next was Pin the Tail on the fox. Cheerfully, Muskrat was blindfolded and headed for the oak tree.
Tired Fox leaped out and, whoops, got an extra tail. He yowled and ran out of the forest.
Now the party truly began. Shrews and rabbits did tarantales, and songs were sung all night.
Whirly Mole dozed and smiled, tapping his paw in time.
Then slowly the merry party broke up. Folks danced homeward, humming. Others trotted or flew to places of cozy leaves, moss, and shredded honeysuckle. Old Man Badger was led all away sleep-walking. Yawns were loud, eyes closed.
Brown leaves crackled underfoot and blew along the silvery air. Winter was around the corner. At home, Pleasant tucked his blanket up under his chin, sighing. With happy weariness, he set his alarm for Christmas.
The forest was quiet as the moon, but as Pleasant slept, somebody wrote in chalk, "We love you," across the door, and whoever it was scampered off into the ghost of Halloween night. The end. Well, what did you think of that book, Princess Read-A-Lot?
I loved how it was about Pleasant Fieldmouse planning a Halloween party, and at first the guests didn't come because they didn't know where it was, and then they came as themselves and had the most wonderful night ever. What did you think about that, The Taste?
Well, I thought it was a great book because it also taught us a lesson not to be greedy, because Owl and Fox, they wanted to get the animals but failed trying to be greedy and wanting it all to themselves. Well, what did you think of that book, kids? Well, we hope you liked that book.
And the end. Thanks for listening, and read lots.